October 18, 1999 was a first in wrestling TV history. In the most hyped Nitro in months, the special intrigue was not coming from a returning top-name big match or the continuation of a feud, but for the debuting off-screen creative team in a position that was previously completely anonymous to the vast majority of the audience. Tony set the stage, telling viewers that this is Russo and Ferrera's first night in the company, hyping a show unlike anything seen before on the program. Russo and Ferrera's trademark detailed script writing in a fast-paced format was clear to see during the first hour, perhaps even for viewers unaware of the creative change, with reportedly 3 crews filming the backstage pre-tapes in the hours before the show, using the unopposed hour to promote the next 2 hours, first with Bret Hart coming out saying that he came to WCW to win the world title, with Sting responding to set up the match. Seed and Goldberg were shown arriving to the building, with Seed bringing his legal team to confront Goldberg, while attempting to push the envelope in another area with a booked evening gown match, Tori coming out with a mystery coat, and Kimberly trying to get David Flair to the hotel. With the Filthy Animals group as one of the main targets set for a major push under the new regime, Rey and Conan beat Harlem Heat to win the tag titles. Seed came out with the lawyers for the hyped confrontation with Goldberg moments before 9 for the crossover segment, saying that he warned Goldberg that if he touches him before the pay-per-view the match is off, ripping the contract as Goldberg sprinted to the ring, taking out the lawyer before Seed attacked from behind, saying that Goldberg will not get away from it that easy, laying him out in the final angle before Halloween Havoc. Before taking a commercial break, Goldberg was getting up right in front of Hall and Nash in the front row, with Hall taunting him to start a brawl, leading to Hall and Nash being kicked out of the building, starting to show long angles with Goldberg searching for Seed and the Outsiders searching for Goldberg. Rock opened draw to a huge reaction, leading the Ohio State crowd to some of the loudest chants in show history a day after the No Mercy pay-per-view. Hyping the Survivor Series main event now set as Rock vs Triple H for the title, bringing out Steve Austin to the ring after Rock accidentally hit Austin in last night's title match finish, with Rock and Austin finally going face-to-face after being almost completely separated for the last 6 months of television. Austin told Rock that if it wasn't for him, he's the one he was going to face for the belt, telling him that they can go right now, as the building was buzzing with Rocky chants for the first clash of the 2 top baby faces in the industry. With plans already set for the next Rock-Austin match to break all-time pay-per-view records, Vince McMahon came out before anything was given away, calling out Triple H and ending up booking an Austin Hunter Rock 3-way for the title at Survivor Series. WCW's second quarter saw the continuation of the 3 angles set up during the first hour, with the Outsiders sneaking back in the building and getting drunk backstage, Goldberg going after Seed, while Kimberly was waiting for David in the Marriott Hotel before another Flair showed up, with Rick telling her that the boy couldn't come. Raw jumped over 600,000 viewers to a 5.8 rating for the continuation of the opening segment along with the Acolytes backstage starting the table cards gimmick, and a Kane and X-Pac vs Dudleys tag match. In addition to setting up a Mollah vs Mae Young title match for SmackDown, coming a day after Mollah won the belt in 70+, Mae Young took a series of wild bumps like a full-time roster member. Moments after that, WCW jumped big with over 900,000 viewers to a 3.4 rating for David Flair vs Kane, with Tori Wilson placed in the Sable and Deborah role coming out with the code building up to the reveal. Ending up with the Filthy Animals taking out David before targeting Rick for a later segment. A key point on WCW's first show of the new regime was Hulk Hogan not appearing on the night even with him still booked to wrestle Sting for the belt on Sunday, continuing to work the company dispute angle after a worked shoot promo on management last week, as the promotion for the event was changed in the last few weeks, placing the Goldberg vs Seed match in one of WCW's most hyped matches of the year as the main event selling point of the Havoc pay-per-view. Raw jumped around 1 million viewers as Mankind was searching for Rock backstage, giving him a signed copy of his new autobiography along with the sock, as Rock told him to keep it, with Foley in awe of Rock's generosity, asking if he ever stops giving in a comedic segment, peaking the night with a 5.9 rating along with a Chyna Jericho angle. The Rock-Mankind chemistry continued to be record-breaking as Thursday SmackDown headlined by Rock and Foley winning the tag belts for the third time against the Outlaws, drew SmackDown's highest-rated show to date with a 4.6 rating. After everything that was going around in the hours leading up to the match with Jarrett and management, Chyna became the first woman to hold the IC title. Jericho came out cutting a promo on Chyna's win, calling her an embarrassment to the title after names like Savage, Steamboat and Rude holding it, going off on the company for booking it and expecting the audience to see it having credibility, ending up with Chyna laying him out to start the feud. Sting and Bret Hart went 14 minutes in the WCW title match, peaking tonight on Nitro with a 3.5 rating, ending up with Luger's interference attacking Bret's leg to set up Sting retaining. At the same time on the USA Network, Raw drew a 5.1 rating, bringing the gap within 1.6 rating points, the closest margin in over 3 months. One of the most talked about segments of the night was next as Buff Bagwell came out in a different out-of-character demeanor, selling not wanting to be in the ring in a scheduled match with La Parka. Buff got the upper hand in the opening spots but then intentionally took a kick and laid down for the pin, going to the commentary table asking Russo if he did a good enough job. The angle was playing off Bagwell thinking he is untouchable after several media interviews Russo did during the week mentioning him as a future top draw, with Russo booking Bagwell to do a clean job to bring him down to earth. Moments after that, an even bigger talking point came out as Jeff Jarrett showed up smashing Bagwell with a guitar shot, jumping to WCW just 24 hours after putting Chyna over in one of the high-profile matches of the No Mercy pay-per-view. Telling Buff that he's the one with the stroke, now referring to his relationship with Russo and Ferrera. In the show angle, Al Snow found the signed book Foley gave Rock in the trash, leading to a distraught Mankind walking to Rock's locker room and going old school Cactus Jack with an explosive promo, ending the original Rock&Sock connection run with their last match set for the main event, while indirectly giving major promotion to the book for its Thursday release. Jarrett's contract, which expired Saturday in perfect timing with him holding the IC belt a day before a pay-per-view, put major heat on head of talent relations Jim Ross for letting it happen. Jarrett reportedly felt that JR didn't really want to make the effort to negotiate, tying it to JR's close friend Steve Austin's refusal to work a program with him a few months back, while also taking Jarrett's on-screen partner Deborah, who is one of the biggest TV draws in the business, off the road due to Austin's request. JR, who developed a reputation in parts of the company as a borderline Austin stooge, was accused of intentionally not putting the effort to get the deal done, in part because of the heat between them. Vince McMahon, who was busy with preparations for the company going public, couldn't negotiate himself and put all blame on JR, including the company sending a message on its website praising Jarrett and saying that he left due to a dispute with Ross. Jarrett, who was owed money from the company for previous pay-per-views and house show events, asked for his money up front before going to the ring yesterday, eventually getting Ross and McMahon to pay the sum of around $300,000 from the pay-per-view gate of Cleveland's Gund Arena's box office. The Hardys and Edge and Christian came out to a standing ovation after a career-making performance in a spectacular ladder match, taking their status to the next level in the eyes of the company office and the audience, already setting the bar extremely high for themselves to top it in future matches. In another angle before a scheduled Big Show vs. Bossman match, Show got the news from a comp on his father passing away, with the announcers selling it big before Bossman being revealed as hiring him to deliver the made-up news, putting major heel heat in the build-up to the match. WCW put on a big main event on the first show of the new regime with the first ever Goldberg vs. Luger match, starting already past 11 p.m. going 8 minutes with Goldberg going over after interferences from Sting and Bret Hart, bumping WCW around 700,000 viewers to close the show with a 3.2 rating heading into the Havoc pay-per-view. The hyped debut show led to a massive increase from the week before, doing a 3.3 overall rating, the highest in a month, with the more notable figure being the rating during the head-to-head 2 hours, doing a 3.1, WCW's highest rating since July, showing increased interest in the ability to hold the audience steady throughout the competitive quarters. The Rock and Mankind vs. Holly's tag ended up as a handicap match, jumping around 500,000 viewers, with Rock working the entire 7-minute match selling the injury from the sledgehammer attack throughout, ending up with Bob and Crush winning the tag titles after Hunter's interference, bringing out Austin for the post-match angle, with Rock giving Triple H the rock bottom and Austin stopping him just before doing the people's elbow, continuing the interesting dynamic with the audience not knowing how to react, planting the seeds for the turn to close the show with a stare down.